Welcome to another league with Karn Amulet. Let's go. Deck's great. List is great. Karn's great. Primetime's great. Everything's great. Food's great. Cheers. Alright. Playing against another frequent member of the stream. Wusa. Niv Miss It All Star. Probably gonna ship this. Yeah, that's why. That's why you mulligan with Amulet. You know? That's why you mulligan. Any Syndicate cards that I see playable in this deck in the format in general. We discussed that in the podcast, so check it out. It's too difficult to make with escape shift text to Amulet. Are you talking in paper or in MTGO? Because in MTGO, not really. The only expensive card are the Karns and the Cavern of Souls. In paper, it's a little bit more expensive. Yeah, in paper it's a little bit more expensive. There's, I mean, barring the 4 copies of Primetime and the 4 of the other guy, this deck doesn't really. This deck doesn't have too much in common with Scapeshift. Like, they are very distinctly different decks. Trophy my land. Okay. Try it again next turn. How much is Amulet in paper? The card Amulet of Vigor is actually kind of expensive in paper. I don't know how much it is, but I know that it's kind of expensive. Oh, wow! That explains it. So we're probably kind of dead here, huh? Unless my opponent misses land drops or something. Okay. Asus, of course, being significantly better than Dryad right about now. So I think I'm just going to play around another Assassin's Trophy here. I'm making sure that I have 2 untapped sources in my hand. Don't ego me, bro. Don't ego me, bro. I can't watch. Don't ego me, bro. Yeah, Amulet doesn't have that many cards that overlap with other decks. Clothis. Okay. Okay, this I can work with. This I can work with. So I guess I'm attacking the Kaya. Let's get field. And we're one land drop short. Wait a second. Are we one land drop short? So we play Titan. We have 7 mana. We leave white floating. We get Vestige and Stronghold. It's not enough, right? It's not enough. It's not enough. Okay. We're one land drop short of being able to haste Titan because we could get. We could have left this white floating. Yeah. So I think we're gonna get field and garrison here. This allows me to haste next turn. Yeah, attack the Kaya. All right. As long as there's no Niv or we can easily beat the Wrath. We can definitely beat the Yorion. We died to Bring to Light because my opponent can just go get the combo with Sahili, the cat, which I can't remember the name. So we died to the cat. And we died to kind of nothing else. So it's cut or bust. Cut or bust is the name of the game. They don't have Tef, which is nice because this means that they can't instant speed Wrath. And we know for a fact that one of their remaining cards in hand is a Yorion, which doesn't really do anything of just impact right here. It just doesn't do anything at all. Niv doesn't matter. Yorion also kind of doesn't matter. Slight misstep from opponent there. They probably should have. Oh, okay. Oh, no. They're gonna copy Yorion? Oh, because they can copy Yorion, but not. Oh, no, they used the Healy already. Yeah, they could have reset the Kaya. Like, it would have. It lost the loyalty for no reason. For 4 mana, Trophy, I guess, is one of the cards that I should play around. Two cards in hand. I can back for Titan and haste it. Is that better than... Is that better than Pacting for Dryad? It plays around removal better. It plays around removal better. No, we can't, right? Because they just kill the Titan. With the Dryad doesn't do anything because we have no Valakut. I think going for second Titan is better. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now the question is, do I want to play around removal or do I want to try to go for the kill? If I haste here and I go for the kill, they take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have exactly enough for lethal. The problem is that if they have a removal spell and then they untap and they kill me and they find exactly the combo piece that they need, then we lose. So the question is basically, do we want to go for lethal and not play around removal, or do we want to play around removal? I think I'm going to play around removal. It kind of sucks because playing around removal is very, very costly because I kind of have to attack with everything. Can't they topic anything crazy? If I don't kill, there's a healer. They can just kill me with the combo, right? So Bring to Light is lethal. But if I want to answer the Sahili, I have to throw everything at Sahili because, like, the reason why I would be attacking the Sahili in the first place is because I'm assuming that my opponent has removal, and if I'm assuming that my opponent has removal, then I have to guarantee that the Sahili dies. If they have removal, would you see it before going to attacks? Unless if my opponent knows that their only out is to top deck exactly the Felidar Guardian, then they would not go for attacks because it's a lot better for them to do it like this. So I think I just throw everything at Sahili. This is super mega conservative, but I think that it's correct. So my opponent gets a free block here, because if they have removal for the 8/6 Titan, then they can just chomp the other Titan and Sahili doesn't die. So I have to throw everything at the Sahili and I'm chomp attacking with the Azusa. Yeah, this is a weird situation that we find ourselves in. Nikachu with the raid, party of 93. Welcome everybody from Nikachu stream. We are playing some Amulet over here, as we often are. So, yeah, buckle up. Buckle up and welcome to the stream. Thank you for that follow, ConnorMan11. Appreciate that. So I definitely want to find another blue source here. So let's do Growth Chamber, Sunhome. Puts the most mana in play. Most zombies in play as well. There we go. JC1, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so opponent takes the free block. Sahili dies. So now basically I am forcing my opponent to have a Wrath or to have Sahili plus Felidar Guardian, but not only one. They need both of them or it doesn't do anything. So it might have been a weird play, but I think it's the correct one. Katie Mier, thank you for the follow. Got that fishy trophy today? Hell yeah. All EU streamers are in. I don't know what that means, Connorman. This, my opponent is a streamer from Europe, but I live in LA. Okay, so we definitely want Udo in this matchup. And that's kind of it, really, right? I don't care for Radiant Fountain. Maybe we want Cavern of Souls. Just a second Cavern. Only as... I guess my opponent has their own Uros. So maybe we want Bog. Unsure about this one though. Got the Fire Air? Yeah, for sure. Ghost Quarter? Nah. My opponent has infinite basics and they don't have any value lands. They have like lands that hold like enchantments, but like whatever. This is not the fight that I want to be fighting, right? I think Beast Within Farashiok is the only other thing that I'm considering. What do I think of the new Eldritch Reclaimer Flaxton's Titan deck? You mean the deck that I built? It's great, that's why I built it. She asked Kaya with the shirt ring. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually cut the Kaya. It seems not great. Maybe Killing Amulet is good. Yeah, we're definitely shipping this. Don't even know why I'm thinking. Is this a game that we can play? Is this a game that we can realistically play and hope to win? Yeah, okay. Opponent moves to 5. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm not happy. We have caves. Cavern doesn't do anything in this matchup. My opponent's not playing counter magic. I think the only counter spells they have is Mystical Dispute, and they are 100% not bringing that in against me. I'm definitely playing Grazer here. But I'm taking a second to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm actually going to play T-West here instead of Semi-Growth Chamber. Because if I top the Amulet, this is so much better. The question is whether I Azusa on turn 2. Because I can Azusa plus Steerings, but then I'm going to be short lands, and I'm also going to be short a threat. That's a way to undo a mulligan. Guy's pretty good. So they have Boil, so I'm not too excited to just like main phase slam this. Am I supposed to though? I might have to. I think I'm just going to name Giant here, and I'm just going to Azusa plus Steerings. They have Boil? Yes, they have Boil. This is good. Any bounce land there is something I'm excited about. Of course, I'm going to attack the Ren and 6. It's just tight play. Approved move, says my opponent. Just tight play. If they K-Command make me discard, I'm going to pitch the Triad. Best draw is Amulet specifically. Or, never mind. Well, I mean, we can still Valak at them. Line in Skelemental. Damn. That's deep. So best draw is just naturally drawing a Valakut. If we naturally draw a Valakut, that's 1, 2. I think we actually have lethal if we naturally draw a Valakut. That's not it though. Alright, so at this point my opponent egoed us, so we cannot play around this any longer. I'm gonna go ping them. I guess I'm playing into a Wrath. Yeah, that was not smart. I literally just went face first into Wrath. This is Niv, yes. I have fail push? Damn, son. This is not good for me. The reason why I attacked last turn, by the way, is because I wanted to make sure that we have a multiple of 3. Because I'm assuming that my dudes were going to attack through. And at that point... So, transmute... So I guess it's correct to transmute for Valakut, because I don't think Field is going to do it anymore. I don't think Field is going to do it anymore, so I'm going to play to allow myself to draw either... So I have to draw either a Summoner's Pact or a Dryad. And now I would win if I draw either one of those. Transmute for Teleria West. Yeah, that's in top tier play. Did I bring in Uro? Yes, I did. But I don't think that Uro's like we're probably not gonna get to cast our Uro before this. And if I draw a pact, I'd rather a pact for Dryad and set up a lethal turn instead of... Alright, does my opponent have the last remaining removal spell? Because they're gonna need it. I'm playing to win, baby. I am playing to win. I am playing to win here. If my opponent has removal spells, whatever. They got me, but... Ah! That's frustrating. Okay. Alright, so we're top decking the same thing, right? If we top deck another Pact or Dryad, we're forcing my opponent to have another removal spell. Because my opponent went for destroying the Dryad instead of going for destroying the Valakut. So, a little bit of a mistake on my opponent's side there. Hopefully we can punish them. But we have one draw step. Exactly one single draw step. Alright, they tapped out. Alright, so this is it. This is it. So if we draw... I guess it has to be exactly one of those. It has to be exactly... It has to be exactly Dryad. So we are drawing towards 2 Dryads and 3 Summoner's Pacts. Any of those draws win us the game. And if we draw anything else, we lose. That's a tight play to exile the Yorion, so you get an extra trigger with the Saheeli Rai. That's pretty sick. You also protect your Saheeli Rai for the turn. Forgotten North, thank you for the follow. Alright, can we get a drum roll here, please? Where's my drum roll? Where's my drum roll? Oh, here, I got it. All right, so we pay for Pact, and now one topic. Aww. So at this point, they're going to ultimate Ren, and then they get back Armoriga. So I think it's safe for us to pack it in here. I don't think we can keep up anymore because they have infinite Assassin's trophies too. I mean, we can have one more in top step, I guess. I guess we can have one more in top step. I think that we are 0% to win at this point, but we have one on top step. Yeah, it's tough getting Armored Eagle on turn 3. What's up, Magus? Mom sit indeed. Just gonna name all this stuff. I mean, we still have Uro, but like we're probably not gonna get there. Magus Campfire and Amazing Yacht Club. The best content. The best content. We're gonna minus again. This is kind of a sick little loop that they got going on there. Sahili plus Yorion. Saint Doom was calling this guy Yorion. It's just I thought it was funny. I'm pretty sure that Beast Within token beatdown is not gonna get there against the 4/5 with virtual vigilance, right? Okay, changes. Don't think so. Don't think so. Beast Within the emblem. Five-head move. The 5-head move. We'd love to hear registers for a PAX event, so I have access to the Belcher lens right after the downtime. Sweet. Belcher emote, poggers. This hand is not keepable, so let's ship it. I mean, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna bottom the Primeval Titan. Is it great? Probably not. But I have to keep it regardless, probably. Here we name... Yeah, I guess Giant because it fixes mana for Uro. We have everything else covered. Belcher, burn an 8-rack tier 0 post Zendikar. Why burn an 8-rack? Those are two such random things to say. Chance for a Belcher challenge on the weekend? Probably 0%. In fact, I can confirm. I can confirm 0%. I mean, if we had drawn like a castle or something, we had an out turn 3 Titan. No, we don't really. Which sucks. Ren. Turn to Ren every game. Tough to beat that. This is a tough one. This is a real fucking tough one. Survivor, we discussed it on the podcast. Check it out. This is a really tough one. I think I have to Karn, but if I don't... I'm playing so hard into a removal spell on the amulet, so I think I'm just gonna develop my mana, which is gonna be ridiculously bad for me if I don't draw another bounce land. But my opponent has so many ways of answering my stuff. Like they have Kaya, they have all that nonsense. And here they can answer Karn with... Karn can be answered with... I have to stop their mana development, so we're going to go for coding. Karn can be answered with Lightning Helix specifically. But if my opponent trophies the Karn, that's fine. I don't care. What's up, Doglino? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Is this going to be a K command? If this is a K command, at least that makes me happy that I didn't like miss my land drop. It sucks, but yeah. Oh, Sahili. Interesting. They're gonna pink here? Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty good. My opponent showed me Fatal Push, so I'm not gonna run into that. But I'm definitely gonna blow up their land. So we're gonna name Giant here. Let's do a little bit of this. Where can you find the Cyber Guide? Good question. You need to join my Discord. And then you need to link your Twitch and Discord accounts. And once you do, you're gonna have access to all the content in the sub-only channels. So let's code in here. We're gonna code in the Overgrown Tomb. Bye-bye. Extremely important for us to do that. So now we cannot get comboed out, which is good. We can, however, get got by and more ego, but we are kind of set up against ego. We're gonna get to draw another card. We're gonna get to put a Dryad into play. We're gonna start a Firing Valakut trigger. So I think that we can beat ego fairly easily. But I just needed to make sure that I was not gonna get comboed out there. I was the only loss in your league? Oh man. We're killing each other, punt. This is blasphemy. Okay, here's the Fulminator Mage. Well, that doesn't do anything, right? That is good, though. Holy shit, is that good. Wow. Yeah, that one's pretty good. So now they're gonna get to answer Karn. That is really good. We're gonna blow up the Simic. Oof. And they can make another copy next turn. That's nice. That's really, really nice. That is very nice for them. Oh no. Why did they not ping? That has to have been a mistake. Yeah, they kind of punted pretty hard there. I guess they just sacked their own one. They wanted to... Because they also forgot to... That's a huge punt. Why no pact for Asusa? Because my opponent has ways to... Yeah, maybe I should have packed it for Asusa there. I was trying to play it safe because I don't want to get got by like removal on my lands or anything, but I guess we did have way more than enough to pay for pact and upkeep. That's okay. And I think that we, again, it's easier for them to have answers to Amulet than it is for them to have answers to my lands. So I guess that we do this. Because they didn't activate Fulminator. The 4 colors of Healy combo decks. Yeah, pretty sweet. I'm also confused why my opponent didn't ping the Karn. Like, it was so good, right? They get to clear the Karn and then... And then they also get... Maybe they mis-sequenced or something? Oh, they were missing land drops. That's what it was. They did. I guess. Oh, they didn't have the second black for Fulminator. That's what happened. They just didn't have the second black for Fulminator. That's what happened. Well, that one we can beat. Woos is one of the trophy leaders? Yes, yes, he is. He is. Right there, 16 trophies this season. He has had better seasons. They kind of have to push here, or we have lethal, so yeah, that's what we're gonna see. Yeah, that still does not matter too much because we have Titan here, so. Man, the game is a lot easier when you don't get a Mordeagle on turn 3, huh? Matchup is a lot easier when you don't get on Mordeagle on turn 3. Whoa, Grand Tantalus with the Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Grand Tantalus. Appreciate it. The brand new Pog emote, hell yeah. So we're gonna bog my opponent, so I guess I want to cut them off green, I think. Or white. Let's cut them off white. And we attack Sahili. This is the only potential way that we lose. We just lose to the combo. Juku Bog, Field of the Dead. No packs to pay for, so we're pretty Gucci here. And I think we are in fine shape at this point. Hey, the Chandra TODO Torture Defiance and Sahili don't hit planeswalkers now, makes them almost unplayable. Legacy, Modern, Vintage. No, I don't think I agree with that. I don't think they're unplayable. Like Sahili is it's still playable because you have an infinite combo, right? You have Splinter Twin. And Chandra is still a fairly solid card in terms of value. Yeah, I think that Torture Defiance is just a fine card. All right. I don't consider the Nev matchup to be particularly good for us, but oh, Wusa, how's it going? Thank you for the host. GG's, my friend. I imagine that you made a pretty solid misclick with that Fulminator, right? The way that you played, I'm like, oh wow, we're super dead now. And then because you didn't sack the copy, right? You could have sacked the copy, and you could also sack the actual one. But you didn't. You sacked the actual one, and you left yourself with the copy. Oh, it's an artifact. Oh, that's why. That's hilarious. So that's why you said it's an artifact in chat. That makes a lot more sense now. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I guess it wasn't a punt. It was just Karn is OP. All right, so turn 3 Dryad, turn 4 Pact for Titan. With a Dryad and with Dryad mana. Alright, so I think we keep here. On the play, it's probably okay. On the draw, I wouldn't keep this. When do you think Arbella is better than Sakura in Agrometa? Yes, when there's as many when there's as many lava darts as there are right now, it's probably the time to be playing. Man, this is super rough. Did I try 4 green mythic land on Wednesday? I'll probably start with 2 or 3 and then we'll take it from there. So with a single land, I'm not gonna play around Blood Moon here because I think the blue sources are gonna be more important. Oh, well, I guess there's that. So hopefully we're not playing against Blue Moon, so that would suck. We need a pod command. There literally is a pod command. Alright, so now we know that it is Storm, which makes me very sad because this hand is not good against Storm. Now our current configuration is probably this. Our current configuration actually probably cannot beat Storm. I guess we cannot beat a normal Storm draw. Darksteel Ed, thank you for the follow. We can probably beat a bad Storm draw, but not a reasonable one. Like, if they have the turn 3, they just have the turn 3. The good thing is that we have an Uncounterable Titan next turn, and we can go with Valakut, so it's okay. Kind of sad that I lost game 1 after the great start. Yeah, it was okay. Our play was kind of nice. And in game 2, it was wild that even until the turn... Up until the very last turn, we still had outs. Like, we had multiple draw steps. Like, I forced you to have a removal spell on that one turn, otherwise we had lethal. And then I still could have top deck another Dryad or another Pact for lethal at that point. Wait on Stacy or Gracer. There's the deck list command. You can check it out there. But we're playing Gracer here because it's Punt's list. Best thing wasn't after my stream I would attack with Gracer right now, and I did, of course. It was the correct play, right? I got dunked on yesterday playing Titan, ran into 4 thoughts his deck, and they just stripped my hand every time. Yeah, it might happen sometimes. Can be rough. I guess this might be just a little bit too many empty tokens. Yeah, we were very easily beating the first empty, but the second one is gonna be rough. If we top the amulet, what are we looking at here? We're probably still dead even if we top the amulet, actually. They found the gifts. Yeah. Okay. There's no... Yeah, we have to get Karn and get EE. That's the out to this many tokens, but... that is lethal though, and I can't beat that. Okay, this matchup I'm actually super interested in seeing how you sideboard Punt. So this is what I would do. This is where my mind is at. I would cut Fountain. I guess I'm gonna put them over here. Fountain and Castle. And then one Explorer. This is where my mind is at. We were actually lethal King Magic. My opponent just goes for Grave Shot. They have a Blasting Flames already in the graveyard, and they have way more than enough mana. Like keeping Karn in because I feel like fast cages are best shot. Yeah, that's kind of my point. And that's why I don't like Karn. Karn gives us more looks at a cage, but it gives us a slower cage, right? Karn means that we're top decking 3 cages instead of 1, but it also means that we're top decking 5 mana cages as opposed to 1 mana cages. You think that more looks is more important? I mean, that only really works if you have an amulet draw, right? Because I'm very likely, if I don't have amulet in my opener, I am probably not gonna have enough time to Karn and then minus for cage. So this is where my mind would be at. But if you want to do other stuff, I'm into it too. Also, post Cyber, they bring in Aria of Flame, which I have dived to multiple times. Creosote 7, thank you for follow. Yeah, I used to not bring in Sage, and I died multiple times. Excuse me. I died multiple times to Arya, and then I started bringing in Sage again. Also, if I am not siding out cards, I think I would like to side out either one Pact or one Primeval Titan. I'm gonna go with this. One packed out. Yeah, I mean, it's either a pact or a Titan, either or. Well, this hand is really slow. We probably have to ship this. Yeah, this is a good example, but I mean, it still wouldn't work here. I think we ship this though, and I think we ship this one as well. Down to 5 we go. We're at 5. I think we bottom this and this. I don't like castle really, but I think that we are low enough on cards that I am forced to keep in it, even though I don't like it. Slayers over Handwar in Titan and why? They are different cards that do different things, basically. One makes your Titans better, the other one is more powerful when you have a Titan and a Dryad. But making your Titans better does have a cost, however. I guess we went for Karn. I mean, that is the situation, right? Like, if I side out my Karns and this one would have been one of my cages, then I actually have an actual shot, right? I actually have a real shot at winning this game. But now, because like I was forced to, I decided to keep the Karns, and I am in this situation where fine, I found the Karn, but this is gonna be a 5-mana cage, which I am just gonna die before I get to cast. That's the reason why I usually like to just cut the Karns in this matchup and just go for something else. Also, my opponent went top, which is very likely extremely bad news for us. I think that we're just dead. I don't think we're gonna win this one. Aria. Oh man, of course, the no fetch land, three basics deck playing Blood Moon, of course. Of course. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? Some people, man, some people. Some people just have no idea how to build decks in Magic the Gathering. And the worst part is that they don't even get punished, right? My opponent has 3 basic islands in their entire deck, and they somehow not only have the turn 2 Blood Moon, but they also found one of their 3 basics. Oh yeah, this is another reason to just like bring in Rexage in this matchup, because sometimes you have jokesters like this one. Oh, and they also have the turn 4 kill. There we go, of course. We Karn for EE. Karn coding your island. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be doing that. Big Ray meme with opponents play. I mean, it doesn't really matter how well you build your deck, as long as you draw the cards that you need whenever you need them. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I 100% believe, and that is like, actually that's a little bit of the upside to an extent of playing a card like Blood Moon in a list that just should not be playing the card, is the fact that people are not gonna play around it, right? Like whenever I'm playing against Storm and my opponent I see Shivan Reef in game 1, I'm assuming that my opponent is not going to be playing Blood Moon in a fetchless mana base. But then when you are, you just get to get your opponent, right? It happens sometimes. But this is just like it's just bad deck building. I guess just greedy deck building. It's not necessarily bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's bad because it's greedy, basically, is what I mean. Yeah, that's gonna be more than enough to have us dead. Also, my opponent left in empty the warrants against me. Wow. Funny thing, without Blood Moon, they would have killed you way faster. Yeah, that's the point. That is the point. By playing Blood Moon, they gave me a shot, actually, which is a funny thing to say. But, I mean, it's just back deck building going unpunished. So this hand, we're going to go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Amulet, sorry, turn 2 Explore, turn 3 we're going to get to Dryad, and turn 4 Titan with Amulet and Dryad, which should be lethal. They are playing the correct Arif. That is true. Definitely respect for my opponent. Yeah, the Apocalypse Painlands are great. Also, when I started playing MTGO was MTG like period. When I started playing Magic was with Odyssey, so it was actually the Shocklands had the Painlands had just been printed. Unfortunately, we couldn't find an untapped source there, because if my opponent is going to freeboot me here, we could be in trouble. First friend is always the correct art. Yep, just facts. Just facts. Primeval Titan, Unsettled Mariner. Well, that guy we can beat. Even Thalia, honestly, would have been a pretty huge pain in the ass. Usually Thalia doesn't matter whatsoever, but with our current draw, Thalia would have been super impactful, which is funny. Alright, so next turn we're gonna double Dryad plus Explore plus Steerings. Yeah. Double Dryad plus Steerings. Melee Mage. Sounds good. Okay, they named Dryad? Okay. Do they have another one? Also, I guess we have the Steerings first here. Alright, so they need a second Melee Mage or we win. Then the card we had in hand, obviously Ghosting. How can they possibly name the right card just like that? Well, yeah, I mean, yes. It is. The thing is that it's only the right card if they also have a second Melee Mage, right? Why not pack for Azusa and get Titan? Did we have enough mana? I thought we were short on mana there. Maybe I fucked up. I mean, we might still be in it. If we draw Karn, we win immediately. And if we draw Simic Growth Chamber, any non-Celestian Sanctuary bounce land, we are also in really, really good shape because we can pact for Azusa and we can play a bunch of lands. So, Karn is the best possible one. Yes. Engineered explosives. Easy. I did have enough? Okay, yeah, I miscounted then. Or just my mistake. I mean, why play properly? Why play properly when you can just slug suck, right? Great time to use the brand new emote, right? So now my opponent gets to see how dead they are. This is a Doomwake win. Oh man, that was a funny stream with Doomwake. All right, this is just garbage time at this point. Opponent packs it in. All right, dismembers, beast within, Udo, ballista explosives, cut Karns, and this one's interesting. I have not sideboarded with this list against humans just yet. Yeah, I know that Uro is not great because they don't really put that many cards in our graveyard. The thing about Uro is that it's an out to the situation that we just saw. I think that Karn is very bad in the matchup. Like, I think Karn is unplayable. And if we find ourselves in a situation like that one where we're not top decking towards Karn, we can at least pact for Uro, and Uro is very good at like stabilizing against them. They kind of struggle to beat Uro. So Karn can be good against Vials. I feel like your opponent is able to answer Karn extremely easy. Like, they don't even... It just buys you 3 life. No, Wormcoil is I think it's bad. Like, if you spend 6 mana to play Wormcoil and your opponent just Reflector Mages, you lose the game on the spot. So... okay, so... I honestly could see shaving the Uros, but I think Explorer is worse than Uro. So this is what I would go for. Bog is not in the deck. I think I would go for something like this. We definitely need a lot of alarms. I could also see Cut not bringing in the Beast Within too. It's an answer to Meddling Mage, but like giving them a 3/3 is super relevant actually. We have 4 answers to Mage. 5 if we can Dryad. Yeah, that's fine. And before we don't have blue for Explorer would have been... for Udo and Explorer would have been better. Yeah, I mean, I'm not discarding that from happening. Alright, chat. It's time. How do you do a poll? It's like poll, keep. I don't know how to do a poll. All right, keep or move. I can't. I don't know how to do a stupid poll. I mean, it is a turn 2 kill. It is a turn 2 kill if I top deck any ETB on top land on turn 1. This is the actual turn 2 kill. Like, I don't need anything. I don't need anything else. We kill my opponent on turn 2. My opponent is dead. Rip opponent. All right, I'm gonna. Yo, it was worth it for the memes, okay? It was worth it for the memes. I was gonna mull, but it was worth it anyway. We're definitely keeping this one. I do disagree on that humans being a good matchup. I know, Nikachu. I'm not brave like you are, man. I am not as brave as you. Sweet. Terrible top deck. Sounds good. That was a snap keep. No, humans is not a good matchup now. Cowards can't block warriors. I mean, at least I'm great at this game, so I top deck the land for the explorer right on time. No one's more regular playing Merfolk. Yeah, not only playing Merfolk, like Nikachu actually top 8'd the latest Modern Challenge with Merfolk. Like that's real mastery right here. I have nothing but respect for the Merfolk Master. Nothing. Absolutely nothing but respect. Options here. Two options. Option number one, we play a second bounce land. Next turn we get to play 1, 2, 3, 4. The question is whether do I want to gain 2 more life or do I want to have more untapped mana next turn. That's the only question. Double unsettled mana makes the ballista a lot worse though. Yeah, we can Titan next turn regardless, but we cannot kill these dudes with Valakuts. So we cannot clear the board. It's possible that just like the 2 life are more valuable though. Reflector Mage would be kind of annoying. But Vesua is actually an untapped land because I can just copy the Crumbling Vestige. There's Reflector Mage. It's not the end of the world. It's kind of okay. Like, I don't love it, particularly if they are following up with a melee mage, but it's not the worst. Okay. Alright. We have a 3-3 now. Let's go. 3-3? What? No, we could play Titan regardless because the Vesua can copy the Crumbling Vestige King magic. So if we did top deck a Titan, we were still fine. Vala couldn't win. My opponent has 2 Unsettled Mariners, so we don't have that much mana. I think that if we naturally find the Valakut, then yes. But if we have to use mana to like transmute for it or to cast a Titan in order to get Valakut, then that's gonna be a lot tougher. What if this 3-3 only would be a Wormcoil? Just imagine. I mean, if my opponent just like has another Reflector Mage, we're gonna be in the same spot. Champ. Phantasmal Image. You see? I believe this one allows me to kill the Reflector Mage. Do you think this is the best list for the meta? Not necessarily, but it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good list, for sure. Yeah, just bounce that. A great example of why I don't like Wormcoil in this matchup. Heyo! We can't do both, right? We just fill them hard here. Let's actually do Gruul Turf here, so we can gain 2 life. And next turn we can do the Valakut thingy. Or Walking Ballista thingy. Don't get a bounce land? Why not? I feel like gaining 2 life. I am not lose territory, right? Like if I don't lose, I am going to win. Didn't I want double field? No necessarily, because this is better against Deputy of Detention, which is the only way that my opponent can keep up. The literal only way that I lose this game is my opponent goes like Medley Major, like I don't even know how I lose this game anymore. This is better against Deputy, which is the reason why I did this. I don't think I can realistically lose this game anymore though. And 3 zombies is still enough, right? 3 zombies still beats what my opponent's doing. Next turn we get 4 more zombies, so this still beats what my opponent's doing. They just don't have good attacks. So like the second field doesn't really add anything. Yeah, I will happily trade here. Happily trade in here. A ver. ¿Quieres venir? Sí. Oh, bueno. All right, special moment right here, Chad. We have a guest today. Drum roll. My mom. All right. Esta es la cámara. Ahí está. Hey. All right. Say hi, Chad. Hi. Say hi. Oh, ciao. Wait. The chat says hi. Hi. Yeah. Okay. What's her name? Julia. Julia is her name. All right, back to the business. Back to the business. What are we doing here? We can make huge ballista. We can make Dryad plus tiny ballista plus a bazillion zombies. That sounds like the most exciting option to me. So let's go for that one. Alright, so Dryad. When is that special moment I can go to sleep in peace now? Thank you, Musa. That's funny. So mom, she's vibrant. Careful there, cowboy. Alright, just gonna make a 3/3 ballista here, and then we're just gonna go for lethal next turn. Mother of Runes, nice. Like Julia or Rulia? No, it's Julia, like this. Alright. But yeah, my parents they just came back from San Francisco, which is all fired up. How do I pronounce it in Spanish? Julia. That's how you would pronounce it. Alright, oh, second Titan? Sure. So this is GG's now? So we get to clear both Mariners, and then we just clear the rest of my opponent's entire board. So Valakut and Stronghold. Boom, boom. Pay for one, pay for the other one. Pay for one, pay for the other one. Opponent doesn't bucket in, huh? Alright, so now that we're good here, now we haste the Titan. And we finish this up. Could I have gone for lethal? Yes. I think I'm gonna be going for lethal regardless anyway. Yeah, I could, but whenever we are in a situation like this, it's kind of the same. Even it's technically correct because it opens up my attacks, right? It's technically correct to just clear their blockers. We just had lethal both ways anyway. All right, 2-on-1 again. Only loss was to Fetchless Bloodmoon Storm. Fetchless Bloodmoon Storm. Alright, I can work with this. The modern staple, yeah, classic modern. Classic piece of the modern metagame. Fetchless Storm that was actually playing Blood Moons. Alright, so we have pretty good mana. We have a turn 3 Titan mana already. So we just need to find a Titan. And the steerings actually helps us find either a T-West or a Karn. Both of which are exciting. What decks do I consider good versus prowess? It's an interesting question. Like Martyr and stuff? I don't even know, really. So we're running this into a mana leak, but there's no real reason for me to Grazer right now, besides like kind of like enticing my opponent to, like baiting my opponent to activate field on an irrelevant land. Okay, so I guess whatever we would have played, it wouldn't have really mattered. No, they actually have a good prowess matchup. I don't really think so, no. The Fairy Time Raveler, not looking great here. Not a bad one. Steerings. Well, that's really, really bad. That is really, really, really bad, but okay. I guess there was no reason for me to do this. I guess he plays around Future Romance. Yeah, maybe. I don't think BGX has a good prowess matchup. Usually BGX gets overwhelmed by prowess. And here we're gonna see the cost of playing Grazer instead of playing Stacy. Like Stacy's so much better than the stupid sloth. Like we cannot pressure this to fairy. We cannot play around my opponent's Field of Ruins. Like the sloth is just so bad. So bad. Yeah, I mean there's a Karn. It doesn't do too much. We can cast it. It runs into my opponent's Cryptic Command. At least I'm going to play around Mana Leak. I have not given my opponent a good target for Mana Leak, so it's not unlikely that they have a copy. So I don't want to give my opponent value. Against Travis Grazer is better. Yeah, it is. Gonna transmit for summon respect. And we're just gonna pass the turn. It sucks that we can't really play around force. So that's kind of annoying. Mystic Sanctuary getting back Remand. Can work with that. All right, let's go. We're definitely getting fielded here. So we probably want to play around that. And I don't want to expose my field just yet. So we're just gonna do this. We can't really get blown out by 2 cryptics. So this is fine. Just not doing anything. Instant speed Wrath is the plan. Okay. There's the verdict. So we're gonna bounce here. So I guess that we're gonna Karn first. If they have Remand, we just recast it. Yep. There we go. So they have to force it now. And I think we do go for coding. It's a 2-mana play that forces my opponent's action. Yes, they can find ways to like mess with the Karn and stuff, but this just puts pressure on them, which otherwise we're not really doing. Play Leylanu's Sanctity with Chalices and Bridges with other decks. We have their log effects. Damn. That's some really real hatred towards prowess. Sure. Good to know about that one. Skull's pretty alright. The Skull is pretty alright against. So we lead on Amulet, see what my opponent does. Nothing. Okay, cool. Then we go with coding. Boom. What you got, opponent? What are you gonna do about this one? Definitely, it's important to know that my opponent is on Stoneblade and no just straight up blue-white control, because that means that they have less planeswalkers, and that removal like Dismember is actively good against them. And of course, Force the Vigor is the big one. Like Force is okay. Like I'm definitely going to be bringing in Rex Sage in this matchup to answer the Sword of Feast and Famine, and I wouldn't in a million years play Sage against normal. Modes. Counter target spell, draw a card. Sweet. So now that my opponent tapped out, we can 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to play one land. Sure. So Cast Titan, red and white mana floating. You're gonna get Field plus Bojuka Bog, I think. We can double strike, bring my opponent down to 2. I don't think that's very good. Oh, we don't have Bojuka Bog. Damn it. We have made our land drop, so I guess we want to find a Simic Growth. Sure. Because we can minus for Karn. We can minus the Karn for... I just concede. We can minus Karn for Working Ballista. Alright, sweet. If you spend the red, you should have played Valakut Pro Scouting Field. No, I was saving the Valakut because I don't need to expose it just yet, right? My opponent has a field in play, so I don't really want to be exposing my Valakut to it. So these are good. Udo is probably good as well, and both of these are fine. I guess Ghost Quarter is also important because Ghost Quarter prevents the Cryptic Lock, which is the way that my opponent can win this game. We're gonna shave. We might want some number of forces. This is a maybe. We're definitely shaving some lands. And Gracers. Gracer is so bad in this matchup. Can cut all Gracers altogether. How do we feel about this? I don't like Ghost Quarter or Sage. The way that I lose this matchup is to Sword of Feast and Famine. So leaving myself with no answers to Sword of Feast and Famine is sometimes a recipe for losing. Particularly because Force can be countered very easily, and we can make uncounterable Sages. It's an Abysmal Cyber plan. What would you do? So if we don't like this and we don't like this, what are you gonna do? The reason is that I lose to Cryptic Lock in this matchup. Like, the ways that I lose this matchup is an early Stoneforge Mystic with... Oh, I forgot this, members. An early Stoneforge Mystic that's has a Sword of Feast and Famine or something. And then... and my opponent Cryptic Locking me. Beast Within, Udo, Cavern, Bog. So just no respect for Sword of Feast and Famine whatsoever. We have no answers to it besides the one of Beast Within. This is our only answers to the sword. No respect at all. Interesting. I do like siding out the castles. I think the castles are pretty bad here. Karn is an answer. Yes, but Karn is an answer that can get answered pretty easily, right? Sage is not. I actually think that this matchup is bad. This is an easy mole. It is a slow one. This one is better. Turn 1 steerings, turn 2 explore. I kind of want to be greedy and bottom this forest because drawing your natural forest is awful in the matchup, in the Path to Exile matchup. So I think I'm going to do that. Of course, I'm never going to find lands and I'm going to die with 2 Summoner's packs that I never get to cast in my hand, but... Also, this hand has the downside that if my opponent... That's a sick draw. If my opponent has a very, very quick start, we might be in a lot of trouble. Easy Sanctuary here. Let's go explore. Alright, so we get to Karn next turn. Unless we want to explore instead. Spreading Seas. Whatever. Whatever. Sweet Spreading Seas, bro. Oh, that was such a bad mistake. That's awful. That was such a bad mistake. Now I don't have any forest in play, so this castle is not entering and tap. That was a huge punt. Hopefully my opponent fixes it for me and they field me here. Please field me, opponent. Please field me. They don't want to field me. Fields, bad man. Fields, you get it? Counter draw, sure. So next turn we're gonna be playing Uncounterable Titan. There you go, Hatelex. We discussed it a fair amount. This is Spike's fault. Well, let's do this. Got the force. Oh, I'm an idiot! I could resolve a Titan! I'm so stupid. I played the breeding pool for this very reason. Last turn. Man, sometimes I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? What the hell am I doing? I ask myself sometimes. What are you guys here for even, right? What are you guys here for? Are you here for the top quality content? Or are you here to enjoy the punts? What's the real truth? It's on Spotify 30. So again, check the link that I just posted. It says listen to the Tiny Talk process on Spotify and then on SoundCloud. So you have both links there. Approach of the second sun's incoming. Damn. Really deep. Have punt loose. Well, I mean, I have an emote precisely for this, okay? So the fact that I definitely think that this emote is not getting spammed enough. Because it wasn't there a week ago, Freddy. We uploaded it this week. And when I tell you we uploaded it this week, you can go and you can use this one. You see, there's an emote for every expression. Look at how many emotes you get to use. Am I playing like shit and not getting punished? Of course, because I'm a laxac. I'm also whitelisted, everybody knows that. What's up, Jose? How are you doing? José, meu querido amigo. Was playing Among Us. I'm here for the punt. If you want the punt, I gotcha. All right, so we got options here. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to coding? Are we supposed to tighten? If we tighten, we're definitely making it uncounterable, but we might still run into... Yeah, this is actually not a great scenario. I think we have to run face first into my opponent's Aether Gust. Code the Stoneforge? Yeah, that's probably not the best line, I don't think. Probably not the best line. Maybe not. Just maybe not. Alright, so we're gonna go field here and Bodos a Garrison. Gonna get some Sumbos going. We're gonna bounce Spreading Sis. And I think I'm gonna plus. Should I plus? So if they have Sharknado. No, I have to minus here. Would I pick up Cavern since they let me? I think they're gonna go for Field. Field seems a lot more threatening at this point. The Cavern doesn't matter too much anymore, I don't think, right? That we already resolved the Titan. But if my opponent has a Sharknado, they can play it for 4 anyway, so I think I'm supposed to minus and go get explosives, so I have an answer to my opponent having one of their thingies. And the only way that they get to attack with Batterskull on the ground is if they cryptic me, which means that the Karn is just dying regardless. So I think that I should go with explosives with Karn here. Among Us on Discord when? Maybe eventually I'll do it. Everybody's going nuts over that game, so I expect that something good must have, right? Yeah, so here's the this is a Sharknado. Okay, yeah. That is kind of fine because we get to answer all of this. They're gonna get to clear my Karn without needing to cryptic, which is kind of annoying. But then we have double pact on the next turn, so if they tap out, we get them. This generation's version of tag. All right. Tag's a good game, so. My opponent needs business here. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna E on 0. If I E, I'm gonna E on 3. Because I'm not worried about this, or I'm not worried about this. I'm only worried about the sword. So the only thing that I would consider would be that. Having drawn the bog naturally is interesting. It means that my opponent's probably not gonna get to cryptic loop, which is nice. So for my opponent to be able to stop what I'm doing right here, they need to naturally have a cryptic, and I'm gonna bog, and that means that I'm not gonna get got by bog anymore. So that's of course good for us. The bad thing is that my field is going to die. The good thing is that my field dying doesn't matter that much. Because I already have enough threats that it doesn't particularly matter. We're just attacking my opponent on so many different angles. It seems pretty tough for them to be able to keep up. Oh, maybe they're considering a Wrath here. That has to be it. Yeah, they have to be considering Wrath in right now. And that's why we see the tanking. Yeah, so they're gonna blow up the field, and they're maybe gonna clear things up here. Oh. Oh, that's the line? Okay. Well, we can beat this. I'll tell you that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's Johnny. Here's Titan. It doesn't sound like they have Gust, though. So, Stronghold plus... Well, at this point, I kind of just want all the blue sources, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to go for haste. We do have a considerable amount of threats as is, so... Also, this means that we get to clear the TEF. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. Yeah, we don't. So let's just do this. So we clear TEF. They just don't have anything, huh? Just have a bunch of nothing. I should have gone Invalidate, because that gives me access to a red source, which means that I can double strike next turn if I want to. And we go to discard, and I think I'm gonna pitch the Simic Growth Chamber. No, unsurprising, really. All right. What is this? A Titan that doesn't get gusted? This can't be 2020. Yeah, I know. Maybe my opponent is on the no gust plan. So I think we just main phase backed here. Okay, so Cryptic's on top. It's an interesting choice. I'm gonna pitch the Liquid Metal Coating, I think. Just doesn't do anything. But this is nice because we can lead on Summoner's Pact. They have a Cryptic on top, but it's not there yet. Another prime time, it's interesting. Starting off here. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can go get Dryad. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I wanted to lead on Summoner's Pact because I'm casting Dryad regardless, right? Yeah, exactly. But I'm basically trying to see what's up here. Yeah, so that resolved. So we get Dryad. Now we do explosives for 3 with this colors because it doesn't really matter. So my opponent does not have a cryptic in hand just yet. Force of negation. Okay, so they have that. Now we can play our Dryad. And now we can pact for another Dryad. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so if I attack and I go get Valakut, my opponent gusts my Dryad, and then my Titan Chomp attacks into the Germ. I don't think they have a counterspell, because if they had counterspell, they would have countered my Dryad, right? So I think if they have anything, it's going to be a Gust. Which means that I think I'm safe to do this here. And if my opponents spend the last card they have if it's a cryptic, this is fine. So we're going to do Valakut plus Crumbling Vestige. This plays around Aether Gust. So Valakut here, Valakut here. Always yes, always yield. So now they are forced to Gust right now. They don't. Okay, so now we float red and white and we get to haste this prime time. Red. Bog you. Kill you. And white mana, haste this guy. Yeah. But I think that it was correct for us to play the Titan of the Cavern. And now we're gonna get a nice little attack, and my opponent is kind of forced to do anything. Otherwise, this is just lethal. Wow. Beautiful. Masterfully navigated. No mistakes made ever. Just the perfect blue-white match. No mistakes ever. Turn 3 Karn on the play. This beats many decks. This beats many decks. I guess I'm gonna go for it. Control matchup is terrible, punts and still wins. Well, to be fair, my opponent was playing a kind of like a weird version of their deck. Or maybe they were not familiar with the matchup, because like, I don't know. They made some sketch plays. Also, you have to consider the fact that I am whitelisted, so. Okay, last match of the day. Let's see what awaits. Let's see what awaits. A multi-6 from opponent awaits. There's no way my opponent's reading Amulet, right? I mean, maybe. Just stop the Azusa and turn to Karn them? Yeah, exactly. Alright, we can beat this. Without the main deck Bojuka, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Definitely going to be missing the main deck Bojuka block here. And once again, this Graph Digger's Cage is going to be too slow. The good thing is that we're gonna get to tag one of these Trickhorn activations, so that's cool. Oh man, they found a treasure. Come on, don't have it. One time, don't have it. Azusa would actually be a great draw because he allows me to cage on this next turn. I think we're just dead though. The cage seems like it might be a little bit too slow. What are they getting? They're getting 2 ghouls and 1 amalgam. So we kind of have to top deck either Azusa or Grazer right now. Right now. Azusa or Grazer. That also counts. Sweet. Yeah, 100%, right? We just have to Karn here. Just Karn for cage. And I guess we have to bounce the Sanctuary, huh? Yeah, we have to bounce the Sanctuary. Do we? If we bounce this, we're 1 mana short of Titan next turn, but we can develop mana and we can get a Titan on the following turn. You would bounce, yeah. The thing is, I think it's not out of the question that we might have to... I am not discarding the fact that we might need to use Amulet to block next turn. This card is doing work. Because next turn we can play Karn. We can, no. I mean, we can Karn minus for Ballista. Minusing for Ballista is probably the line. That buys a turn. And then on the following turn, we can minus for Wormcoil. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we're looking okay here. Sure. They got 2 caves and 1 mine. Not shocking. Okay. Unless they have a Smiting Helix in hand, this should work, I think. Yeah, but we see what I was saying earlier, like this is kind of awkward here. Next turn we can go get Worm. Would love to draw a Dryad or a Susa or anything like that. Anything that allows me to ramp. Are they out of chills? They only use one chill. This is the second chill. That's scary. Oh yeah, you're right. Both of them going towards Karn. Block. Gonna ping here. I'm going to assume that my opponent's going to... They didn't draw a card? Why would they not draw a card there? That has to be a mistake. Foundry Crypt. We just minus for Worm, go from there. We could have also steered this turn if I hadn't made a mistake there. I wonder what they're looking for. Now that I have the Worm in play, I don't know what they are really drawing towards. Like hard cast Stink with Imp, maybe? But I really doubt that they have a way to remove game 1 Cage. Who's the 3-land Worm Coil deck now? I mean, we're only playing 2 lands to be fair, huh? We're the 2-land Worm Coil deck. No need for 3 lands. 3 lands is such a noob amount, if you think about it. I do think that next turn I'm gonna plus on my Amulet to block. If my opponent finds a way to answer the Worm. They did show me that they got back a Sacred Foundry, so they probably have the 4-mana one. Reunion is Gucci. I don't know what my opponent's drawing towards. I guess we can force them to sack their dude. Seems good for us. So they can block and sack their dude, so they can deny me the life gain. But that doesn't really matter. Okay, so they are playing Smiting Helix. Cage is just like, well, I mean, it's not when you have double Amulet, right? Double Strike doesn't do anything. My opponent blocked. Yeah, we also couldn't have. I think I am setting the Double Strike for this turn, however. And I think here I'm just gonna plus on an Amulet. So my opponent doesn't have, like, they randomly have Bloodghasts or something. We don't lose the Conflagrate. My opponent has 2 in the graveyard and there's a Cage in play. So unless they're playing 3 Conflags and they naturally drew 1 of them, we should be fine. They also cannot cast the thing. It's a good cage. It was a good cage. All right, Bojuka Bog. Is that it? I think so. Sometimes Dredge brings in Leyline of Sanctity against us. The reason being it stops Bojuka Bog, which is pretty rough sometimes. This is again a matchup where I very often just cut the Karns. The Karns were insane in this game, obviously. But that is because I just had 2 amulets. So, like, literally anything in that draw would have been insane, right? So it's like a question of whether on the draw, whether I value having access to cage earlier, or do I value having access to 3 virtual copies of cage. And then, of course, that can get Ballista and Wormcoil, etc. This deck doesn't have the boat because it is Punt's list. And what am I gonna cut? Probably the Cavern of Souls. We could also cut Ancient Steerings. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Particularly on the draw, yeah. Particularly on the draw, I feel like the untapped green source is great, so we can play great source early and stuff. All right. This has been pretty solid so far. The leaks have been kind of long. Not that long. Not when I was streaming StoneBlade long, but they still have been pretty extensive. Karn leads to longer games. Yeah, people don't concede to the Karn as quickly as they concede to the Titan, which is strange, right? This we probably ship. This doesn't sound good enough to me. This seems better, but still not great. So I think we should go to 5. Just don't have enough lands here. And this is the best hand we've seen so far, so that's cool. So we're gonna bottom Pact and the Castle. It's kind of rough to bottom the Castle, but I think it's what we should bottom. I don't think I can bottom Gracer. I think my opponent's gonna kill me quicker than that. So I just have to get a little bit lucky and draw another. We just have to find another green source. Now the question is, do I shock and Gracer on 1? Because it's not gonna stop any of my opponent's onslaught, but it just gives me access to some plays that I otherwise don't have access to, like turn 2 Dryad. So I guess it depends on what I draw. If I draw a Dryad or an Asusa, I'm probably going to shock on 1. Even though I'm not excited about it. That's vomit. Now that I drew a second Gracer, I think I'm just going to not shock, actually, because I kind of want to try to see if I can find an amulet. Though I guess that with this bounce line specifically, I can't really hope for an amulet, can I? Yeah, green swords being a turn 3 Titan is pretty great. Opponent's draw is pretty great so far. They haven't found a Dredger, but if this is a cathartic reunion, like, they kind of have the nuts. They had the perfect 5-card hand. Turn 1 Shriekhorn into turn 2 Cathartic. With a Dredger even? Jeez. Yeah, just the perfect opener. They kind of whiffed there a little bit. They whiffed, but they didn't, which is weird. Bog would be great here. Another green source. Okay, I can work with that. I can work with that for sure. So bounce this. Play Gracer. Play this. And now my opponent needs to have Thoughtseize, or they need to have either Thoughtseize or Damping Sphere in hand here. I think I want to keep my life total high, so I'm just going to chump here. This is not really... The Gracers are not going to be doing anything better than chumping 3 damage, so it's probably better to keep this. Standing ship player hate chill so much. Yeah, for sure. You block Narcon. I think... like, going down to 11 could be relevant. Next turn, we're going to Titan. Loam. Mesa, Foothills. Mesa, Hill, and Foundry. We can always set the 3 next turn. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that was correct. Not good. It's not the worst, but it's not good either. So we're definitely getting Bog here, and I guess that we get Field. I'm getting Bog because I don't want to get killed by the Ox. Let's say that they do mill. They have 6 cards that they're gonna mill, so let's say that they do mill the Ox. What happens then? Yeah, Bog Fountain, I think is the line. And if they find enough to conflag my Titan, then c'est la vie. But I think that exiling everything is important. Even though there was only loan there, there's still like stuff, like I don't want them to find lands basically. They did find an imp though, which could potentially be a problem. Ox. So they did not find what's his name, which is good for us. They did find an Ox, but they did not find the Conflagrate. Do we have to block here? What is this, 10 damage? We definitely have to block, yeah. We just have to block and hope. We're just trying new one because we're whitelisted, fair enough. That's the line. But I think if I take the other damage, we just lose to double chill. So I don't think we can expose ourselves to that. Because if we find a second Titan, we're just fine, right? If we find a second Titan here, we're just good to go. So I just need to make sure that I don't die to some random nonsense, like double chill, which is not unlikely for my opponent. From my opponent, I mean. Interesting that they did this before they fetched. That's honestly sounds like a mistake to me. They also discarded their white source, so they're not gonna be able to flash back the thingy. Well, guess my line was pretty good. No Conflag, no Helix. So I guess that now, at this point, the best draw would be a Dryad. That one life we lost by not blocking Narco. We would actually be dead. Right? We would be actually dead if we had done that. Because I would have 2 less life. Would have like an yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so I would be at 3 instead of being at 2. I would be at 3 instead of being at 2, yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. I'm still dead though. We needed to draw exactly Dryad that very turn. Because now I can attack. But my opponent has just gone too wide and they gone way up to too much life. So I think we're just dead. Move to scoop phase. Yep. Alright, last game. Anything that we want to change? Are we sure we want Karn instead of Cage? That's the only thing, because I didn't see my opponent having Leland, so I'm not going to be bringing in Forces or Sages. Sakama is basically the only card that could have taken us out of that spot. No, not really. Dryad would have been the only one. You're more likely to find a card in the cage, though. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's a matter of playing a 1-mana cage. Less likelihood, but 1-mana cage versus more likelihood, but 5-mana cage. They were to why we just go face. They're at 20. We can put together 20 with a Dryad and Valakut. Also, we might have been able to actually catch up to how many creatures they had. How many triggers would we have gotten? Would have gotten 2, 4, 6 triggers we would have had. Yeah, that's 18 damage, plus the 2 that would have trampled over for the Titan. We did have lethal if we had drawn a Dryad there. We had exactly lethal, which is funny. Because my opponent would have been able to block with the Ox and the Narco. But we would have gotten 6 Valakut triggers plus 2 damage to trample through. So we had exactly lethal if we had found the Dryad. Just like that one. So I mean, this hand wins if I find the Titan. This is a turn 3 pseudo kill if I find the Titan. So I have 2 draw steps to find the Titan with this hand. I guess this is also a turn 3. Yeah, okay. Alright. This is also a turn 3 Karn plus Cage. My opponent says 1 sec, sorry. Definitely an interesting hand though. But it's one of those hands that you are sometimes forced to, you know, like... We're looking at the top of the deck, but if the top of the deck does deliver, this hand actually is kind of nuts. Polite opponent already, yeah. You don't see those very often. 28% chance in 2 draws. So we're looking to draw. These are redraws, and we're looking to draw 8 cards, 11 cards, and steerings are also redraws. So we have 11, 18 cards that we're looking for, And I guess Valakut is also a valid draw. Yeah, Valakut also counts, so we can definitely count Valakut amongst those. And T-West also counts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so they have the other enabler. That's a waste of a draw step. That's what that is. I'm probably still gonna play it right now though. And I'm gonna put the Borders Garrison into play. So we have many draw steps that just kind of win the game on the spot. And we can do a lot of blocking too, yeah. Of course, we get in there with the Grazer. Don't Lightning Axe, bro. Lightning Axe doesn't really do anything. They get to kill our Dryad, but like whatever. We're still drawing toward the same cards, with the exception of Tolera West. We're not drawing toward Tolera West anymore. Okay, so here goes something. Cathartic with double imp. Pretty rough. Double imp and probably a loam here. Yeah. Double imp and loam. Bog would not be terrible. Bojuka Bog would not be terrible here. Titan would be game winning, of course. Cavern of Souls is a blank. Just gonna name Giant here. Do we want to attack? No, just blocking the amalgam is probably more valuable. Hey, Vilhunk. Yeah, I know that T-West is fine because of Dryad. I was talking about what would happen if my opponent had Lightning Axe on their end step. If they had Lightning Axe, then T-West is no longer an out, right? That's what I was trying to express. So opponent's gonna loam, and they get, what do they get? Ripped, Ground, and Mesa. No cycling lands is definitely good for us also. And I don't think I'm playing around Dark Blast. Point overboard and made themselves too slow. It's honestly a possibility. Turn 4 and we're still at 20, which is nice. Bog. What are my draw steps here? I'm trying to figure out whether I should be playing out this castle or not. No, I shouldn't, right? Because like anything that would require me to play the castle. No, wait a second. If I find Titan, no, we're still fine. Yeah, I don't think I play them. Yeah, we save them for Valakut. Or field a couple of turns from now. If I just flood a little bit. But now we're gonna see the imp again, which is pretty scary. A little bit frustrating. But it is what it is. Staying with imp. That's a lot more dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. That's a lot more dudes. They also have the Ox. I think we're gonna lose this game. We had time to find something, but we just didn't. I still think the hand was 100% a keep. Yeah, I agree with that. So I think we have one more turn to find a Primeval Titan. That's funny. I think we have exactly one more turn to find the Primeval Titan, and the Primeval Titan is going to win. But if we don't find Prime Time exactly on this draw step, then we're going to be... I think we're just going to die. Keep getting stomped at MailGS since they're pretty competitive. I want to get better and more competitive, but I don't think I can do that with the deck I have currently. And now with rotation on Zendikar, I don't know what to do anymore. It's going on 3 all the time for standard, by the way. Yeah, I mean, the Evelhawk, that's kind of what you're signing up for, right? If you're playing standard, you're signing up for your cards rotating. That's why I only play Eternal formats. Because I was there and that happened to me and it felt awful. And I didn't like that to happen to me anymore. So imp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 imp. And 1, 2, 3. So they just milled 3 imps. The short run standard is cheaper, but on the long run it's hella more expensive. Yeah, I agree with that. Feels bad, man. Feels really bad. Am I actually dead here? We chomp, we block 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So I'm technically not dead. How many chills? They have 2 chills. So I guess if they find... Oh no, they're getting back these amalgams. Yeah, so we're actually dead. Yeah, we're actually just dead. We don't have one more turn because these amalgams are coming back in step. I forgot to count the amalgams that were coming back. I mean, we had 5 draw steps. I guess 4 draw steps, right? We had 4 draw steps to find the Titan. We had 4 draw steps to find any of these cards. And we just didn't, so. It is what happens sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying standard, then that's great, right? Sweet, you should keep playing standard, but you need to know what you're signing up for, right? Very disappointing. I'm gonna look. I know I shouldn't look, but I'm gonna look. Moto is like, you shouldn't look, dude. Like, what are you doing? Just don't look. Okay, so I guess we're not looking. Would have liked to look. Very disappointing end to the stream, particularly because I felt like that was a fine keep. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, my opponent's start wasn't mind-blowing though, right? Like, it's not like they had like 10 power on turn 3 or something, on turn 2. So I cannot really complain about my opponent's keep or anything like that. But you should probably try to not look at those games and make that affect your decisions. Yeah, I mean, that was still a keep, and I should have still kept that hand. And if you find yourself in a situation like that one in a matchup like against Dredge, you should probably keep as well, right? Like we had multiple. Again, we had 11 draws that potentially win the game immediately, and then we had a bunch of redraws as well. So percentage-wise, we were in fine shape, but yeah. Besides that, losses were to Dredge, Grixis Shadow, and Storm with Blood Moons. That's right. Yeah, Storm without fetches but with Blood Moons. That was the other one. I mean, the list, honestly, the list felt good. I feel like the list was actually pretty solid. We definitely got paired against a couple of matchups that are not very good. I do consider Grixis Shadow to be kind of a weak matchup for us, but c'est la vie sometimes. Right off the bat, I don't think I would make any changes to the list. I wish I had drawn steerings a little bit more often, but still, whenever I drew it, like whenever I cast steerings, it was pretty solid, right? Like the chances of whiffing in this list specifically are kind of smaller. I mean, you're still gonna whiff, right? Like it's still, you know, steerings in Amulet. Sometimes you're just gonna find something that you're not looking for, but steerings is still pretty solid in this list. I even wonder if we should make a switch here, since we're only playing 29 lands. If we should make a switch and like cut one Gracer for the 4th steerings, just like we were doing back in the. Was it against? It wasn't in the Hogak decks. What? Oh, it was in the snow codex. In the Uro control snow Uro decks time. But yeah, anyway, it was nice to be playing Amulet again. I think that overall, barring a couple of very obvious mistakes, which I try to be very blatant about pointing out the mistakes that I make. Try to make the mistakes so you don't make them. Of course, you're going to make them anyway, because we all do. but yeah, it's definitely a fine list. This is definitely a cool way to build Amulet right now. And personally, Karn Amulet is my favorite way of playing Amulet, so I'm always excited about playing Karn in Amulet whenever I get a chance to. So I could see myself playing a little bit of this in the Mana Traders thing maybe. But yeah, we're going to end things right here. Thank you so much if you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I really appreciate you checking out the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye bye.